The voice and gifted lyricist and songwriter of Supertramp plays the Arcata Theater in St. Charles for 2 shows, Monday and Tuesday, October 23rd and 24th. Roger Hodgson of Supertramp is on the telephone with me. Roger, welcome to the Drives Rockstar interviews.
Hi, Steve. It's good to be with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Now, between 1974 and 1979, which were my growing up years, and Supertramp was a big part of those, you put out 4 incredible albums. Everybody knows Breakfast in America. It's one of my favorites. It was all over my turntable in '79. All the great songs. I love them. I also love Crisis, What Crisis? It's one of my favorites. Seems kind of underrated. I certainly hope that in your solo sets you play Sister Moonshine.
I do. It's funny. Crisis, What Crisis is actually my personal favorite. I know it's the one that gets the least amount of attention, but I love the songs on that album. So yes, I play Sister Moonshine, sometimes Lady, Soapbox Opera, 2 of Us.
I'm so thrilled that we both find that album to be so superior, because I really do love it. Now, let's start with you on the road as a solo artist, Roger Hodgson, and your place in the Supertramp legacy. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's interesting. It's like a new lease of life for me. The last 14, 15 years, I think I've toured every year, and obviously, you know, the years you talk about, I was with Supertramp for 14 years. I founded it with Rick Davis, and it was a great time of growth and adventure for me, and it was fantastic 14 years of my life. But then I took a break to raise my kids and get away from the industry to kind of clear my head and do some other things with life. And then when I came back, I found I had a confidence and an enjoyment that was much greater than even when I was with Supertramp. So these last 14 years and still, I'm having a ball. It's incredible to have these wonderful songs that don't seem to get old, that I enjoy playing every night, and have been a part of so many people's lives, and they have so much meaning to so many people. So that's a real gift that I can give to people every night.
And you certainly do feed off of the audience. You were at Ravinia. I can't remember whether it was 2 or 3 years ago, but that was a great show. Are you frustrated at all that so many people know your voice but might not know your name?
Well, it was the challenge, and still is to a degree, especially actually here in the States. In Europe, not so much. I do incredibly well in Europe. I played 2 Albert Halls in London a few months ago. So it's really just in America that obviously the name hasn't connected quite yet. But still, there's enough. I mean, you know, this whole tour of America, Canada is sold out. Actually, except ironically for the Arcada, which was sold out last time. So it's just it's catching on, and people, I think, are discovering the show and coming back time and time and time again, because there's something they get from the show that's more than just hearing a performer sing his songs. There's a feeling, there's all the memories, as you talk about. But you know, these are incredible songs. Plus, it's great to see a performer who's enjoying himself so much. And I and my band, we have a great time.
Well, tell me about your band. I know it's not Supertramp, but is there anybody from the former? Go ahead.
No former Supertrampers.
Okay.
But
Supertrampers, I love that.
But I did manage to find 4 gentlemen who obviously hadn't. I feel like I discovered them. These guys are just fantastic. They're as passionate as I am in just really getting the songs and up-leveling. Every sound check, we work and get these songs sounding better and better. The harmonies are incredible. And again, we love each other, and we have an enjoyment that people can. It's very tangible. People feel it. They talk about it, and it's infectious. I don't know about you, but when you go and see an artist who's really having a great time, it helps you have a good time. So that's a part of it.
Absolutely. Now, one of the sounds that I kind of put together with your voice and with Supertramp is the sound of the Wurlitzer piano, the sound that you play on the Logical song and others. What draws you to the Wurlitzer?
Well, it's the Wurlitzer and what I do with the Wurlitzer, because I think, I did have piano lessons when I was younger, but I just wanted to play it the way I played it, and I have a very unique style, that dreamer, lady, kind of hide in your
Hmm.
shell style, that's very rhythmical. But it's, the Wurlitzer, the actual keyboard itself had a pretty wonderful feel for me anyway as a player. I just really fell in love with it, and actually Dreamer was the first song that I wrote on it.
Right.
It was the first time I had this keyboard in my house, in my mother's house in England, and so I set it up, and I was so excited I just started playing, and Dreamer just leapt out of
I
me.
love that.
Yeah.
Well, it also, it's, as far as pianos go, it seems kind of, I don't know, almost percussive rhythmically.
Hmm.
But yeah,
It is, yeah.
but of all the albums, of course, in the Supertramp catalog, Breakfast in America, it just really connected.
Hmm.
What about that album resonates like it does?
Boy, well, you're probably a better judge than I am. All I can tell you is that, I sing Breakfast in America and Logical Song, Take the Long Way Home, Lord Is It Mine, Child of Vision every
Hmm.
night, and every one of
It's,
them, and
it's
it's
raining again.
Raining
Sad
Again
song.
from the following
Yeah.
album, yeah, Famous Last Words, yeah, but it's um, they they're great songs. I think it really was. We nailed a collection of great songs. Rick had great songs. I had the songs that I just mentioned. So, and then overall, it was just such a wonderful listening experience. It made you feel good, and these songs make you feel good. And I think I think for many
I
people,
was
it takes them back to that time when life maybe was a little simpler.
I was just going to say the songs on Breakfast in America are very positive. They're very up. They're
Hmm.
they're sunshine is the
Yeah.
word that comes to mind.
Hmm.
Um, you speak of Rick. Do you speak to Rick?
We are in touch. He's unfortunately got a condition. He's kind of battling an illness. So, but we are in
Hmm.
touch, and there's a lot of affection both ways. So, yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. I really am. I'm glad there's no animosity. So I'm talking with Roger Hodgson of Supertramp. How is your singing voice these days? It's one of the true originals. It really is. But you know what? I don't mean this is as any disrespect, but it seems fragile in its beauty. How is it?
Hmm. Um, it's amazing. I mean, I haven't changed the keys for some of the songs, which some performers do. I know, and no, they're
Sure they
still
do. I know.
all in the original keys, and I'm able to hit the notes of Dreamer and all the. Maybe if I'd realized 40 plus years ago that I would be singing these in my 60s, I might have chosen another key. But
You do sing awfully high. That's true.
I do, and
uh,
some reason I still can, and it's in great shape actually.
I am happy to hear that. Do you have any? Because I use my voice, obviously. I could never hit a note anywhere near where you do. Do you have
Mm.
any tips for people who use their voice for a living? What do you do? Do you warm up? Do you drink tea?
I'm a very undisciplined singer. I should warm up, but I don't. But I don't. I think I just say a prayer inwardly and go for it. I think
All
that.
right. Now let's just talk about your break from the music business after your
Hmm.
tour, which was extensive. Your tour for Breakfast in America, way back in the late '70s, early '80s. Supertramp sort of disbanded. Was it because of the success that made this a difficult situation in the music business, or did you just simply want to go raise your kids?
It was a combination of things, actually. The band itself did start to separate. Everyone kind of went their own separate ways, including myself, and that didn't help when we came back together again after breakfast to record Famous Last Words. It was a disappointing album for me because I knew the songs we had, the choice of songs, the songs, and it could have been much better. It could have been really a
Hmm.
very, very a better follow-up to Breakfast in America because I know obviously everyone was watching what we came up with. But
Sure, they
it
were.
was obvious that it wasn't an enjoyable experience, and I think we all knew. And in fact, the title of that album says it all. Famous Last Words. This is it. And
Okay.
at the same time, I had two kids and suddenly had a family and realized that, hey, I better stop and get serious about learning to be a parent. So I was getting a
Right.
lot of messages outwardly, and my heart was really telling me, as sad as I was, and as difficult as it was for me, to go my own separate ways. I had to make that choice, and it was a very difficult one. But it had to
Well,
be. But looking back, I don't regret a thing now.
so yeah, so now that you're back, you seem to have redefined success, and I know that the fans are looking forward to these shows. You got two shows at the Arcata to deal with on Monday and Tuesday, and I definitely encourage everybody to go see Roger Hodgson in concert. It's a great venue,
Hmm.
very intimate performance, and I know they're going to love what you do on stage, and I know a lot of the fans that are coming to the show have seen you a number of times and are very much looking forward to it.
Hmm.
But before I let you go, is there something about you away from music that might surprise people? Do you paint? Do you have animals? Anything like that?
Ooh, wow. I
Do you have a
think
favorite football team?
I, I, not really. I'm not. Gosh, what can I say? I really
Okay.
I'm a very I'm a nature boy. I love being out in nature, hiking when I can. But I think the thing that people tell me is they can't believe I'm so down to earth. I mean, I don't. I really love people, and when I'm up on that stage, it's not
Yeah.
in order to get the appreciation or whether it feels like I'm just with a bunch of friends sharing music and sharing something beautiful and sharing my heart and sharing something I love to do. And I think people
Well,
feel that, and that often I hear people saying, "Oh my God, I felt like you were singing for me," and that's
yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
just amazing, and you are an easy guy to talk to, and I feel like I'm cutting you off here, but I'm sorry for
no,
that. But
no, no.
you you are one of the true originals, and Supertramp is one of my favorite bands.
Hmm.
Growing up in the late '70s, in the middle of all these swirling changes in music, it really was a good time to be a young person and a music lover. I mean, I'd be playing on my turntable AC/DC, and I'd go switch over to Led Zeppelin in through the outdoor, and then I'd put on, Breakfast in America, the Stranglers, and the Sex Pistols, all at the same
Hmm.
time. And it was a truly
Yeah.
magical time for
Y-
music, and I'm
Yeah.
so glad that you were there and a part of it.
Yeah, I'm grateful to this day that I was, and I'm still trying to keep the flag flying in a way, but I don't know whether that's true. All I'm doing is I don't
You
know.
are. No.
I know, but I know that music has kind of gone off in a direction that I'm not. I scratch my head sometimes because to me,
Yeah, you and me both.
music is an incredible art form. It's an incredible way of communicating. I can say things in music that when they're said, just spoken, they don't have the impact.
Hmm.
So you can really, a very magical medium, and I don't appreciate that. I don't stop appreciating that. I mean, I'm just
Right.
so grateful that I'm still able to do that, and my voice is still strong, and I'm able to have that connection with so many people. So um, I think I'd like music to get back more to the potential that it has for bringing people together. So that's
I as well.
yeah.
I as well. And you're a big part of our radio station here at The Drive. Roger Hodgson of Supertramp, 2 shows next week at the Arcata in St. Charles, Monday and Tuesday. Tickets are still available. It sure was great talking to you, Roger. I hope to meet you in person
Oh,
sometime.
Steve, I hope so too. If you can make it to the show, I'd love to meet you.
I would love to. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.